there has been a lot of talk about how everything is a subscription now. And they're not wrong, because roughly 28,000 companies use a subscription-based service globally. And 50% of consumerism is actually indulged into these subscription-based services. So, as we're going into 2025, I think we should talk about how Agenda 2030 is very much full swing. So, I have been talking about this since 2015, and you may have a friend who in 2015 told you what this was, but of course they were the conspiracy theorist friend, so nobody truly believed them. Well, we are not far away from 2030. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, then let me refresh your memory right now. And it seems as though, like I said, we are in full swing, because what were the first sentences of that clip I just showed you? You will own nothing and be happy. Yep. So when I was saying this back in 2015, right? 2015, 10 years ago, and everybody was like, nah, you're crazy, you know, New World Order's not real, you're just conspiracy theorists, blah, 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 blah. I was like, whatever, you know, whether it takes 5 years, 10 years, or whether it's 2028 that people start to realise, whatever. Well, lo and behold, people have started to realise a lot earlier than 2028. There have been people that have been waking up to this every so often after people have been talking about it for so long, but it just now seems to really, truly start to hit people. And when I'm talking about subscriptions, right, 28,000 companies have done this new subscription service, and it's for everything and anything. It's absolutely insane. So I was looking at some of the subscription-based services, and obviously one of the biggest ones is Netflix, right? I've not had Netflix in years, so I didn't know that this existed until I started looking. But you may have already been a victim of this. But if you don't have Netflix, and you may have had it back in the day, like when they first come out with it in like the 2000s, right? So I remember signing up to it and having to get the DVD, watch it, and then post it back, right? That's how long we're going back to Netflix with me. But I don't do this streaming service thing anymore. I'm purely just YouTube based, right? So back in the day, that's what we'd have. Well, now you pay for certain levels of your subscription. So that got introduced when I was watching it. I do remember that. I think it was a £5 and you had access to everything. That's not the case now. I don't know what the prices are, but I know that if you're on the basic one, definitely in the US, there are ads that come with it. I don't know about the UK. Then there's the middle one, where you'll get access probably with no ads. I'm not sure, let me know, but you get access to like more than the basic, right? And then you got the premium version where you can pretty much have everything. But what they're doing now is they're actually locking people out of shows and TV movies on Netflix if they don't pay enough with their subscription. They're actually like, oh, you're paying for us? Sweet, but it's not enough if you want to watch this show that used to be free on our site back in the day. Oh, yeah, you want to watch the end of that TV series that you've been watching for free? Yeah, pay us up. Pay up the next subscription. Go up tier. So that's just one, right? That's just one. But you kind of expect Netflix to do this because they've been doing it over the years, right? You know, with the whole, oh, love is sharing a password, and then being like, actually, no, fuck off, we are going to charge you for this and X, Y, and Z, right? So we already know Netflix is a little bit of a, controversial company about doing things like that. But there are other companies that are just like, let me show you this. So if you buy a new car and you don't pay for the subscription after you've purchased car, let's say you get like a year free or something, I don't even know how it works now, but if you don't continue that subscription, they are going to cut off your sat nav. Safe. Like, I know that people have got way too, dedicated on sat nav, and people should learn how to read maps and stuff, right? But I don't want none of them comments, because this is just pure evil. Like, they're selling you a car that you're paying premium price for to have sat nav. Let's not forget, right, that most of the cars that are bought come with optional extras that you are already paying extra for, which is why it's called an optional extra. Most of those times, sat nav is an optional extra, right? So why are you paying for the optional extra to then pay monthly to keep that optional extra? No, but it gets even worse, because look at this. Look at this. What rookie thought that it was a good idea to turn around and say, oh, you know what? We should charge people monthly for heating their seats in their car. But you know what's even more mind-blowing? Get this. Obviously, it wasn't just that one dude. It has to go through multiple fucking people, right, to get the go-ahead for someone to go, yeah, we're going to incorporate that. And it backfired. Don't fucking know why. I couldn't tell you, BMW. Couldn't tell you why the backlash of that is. Seriously, what rookie thought that that was a good idea? Which globalist is so fucking out of touch? Mercedes, right? Let's talk about cars still. Mercedes. Yep. So if you can't see that, what that basically says is that their electric car that they have, $1,200, right? And you can get yourself 1 second extra of acceleration. They're holding you back, electric Mercedes drivers. They're holding back that 1 second. But it's all right, because you can get that extra 1 second of acceleration for $1,200. Doesn't that seem fair? What? One, you're not going to feel a fucking second difference, right? Two, what about like something that's called the placebo effect for people that don't care and actually will spend this sort of money? And they'll go, oh yeah, I actually do feel faster. What, because Mercedes told you? No, I'm sorry, no. What? It's not even just like basic things anymore, right? Because do you know what the first ever subscription-based thing was? It dates back to the Milkman in the UK, in England. The Milkman. That is the first subscription-based service that you could pretty much get. On a monthly basis, you'd pay a bit of money and you'd get your milk. You still have it now. We still have milkmen in the UK and probably around the world. But look at the difference. We were paying for something that we were getting, right? Let's fast forward. You're paying to get something, but then you're paying extra for optional extras on top. But then they want to tell you, oh, in order to keep this, you've got to pay this each month. It's got so in your face, it's unbelievable. Like, I'm not even going to lie, right? Obviously, I knew this was coming. Obviously, I knew that, you know, the agenda, but I didn't fucking realise it was going to be so rammed up our arseholes like this. I thought that, the big government, shadow government, whatever you call it, are kind of subtle in the ways that they do things, slowly, They infiltrate and they slowly change things from within like a little snake. But this just seems to have blown up in the last... I don't even know, because I don't even use subscription-based services, so you guys will have to let me know down below, like, when did you kind of start to see this massive influx of every company? Do you know there is actually a company, right, that sells like a baby basset? Sorry, I got something in my eye. Sells like a baby, like, Moses basket basset thing, right, that, like, rocks your baby, right? This thing is over $1,000 anyway, right? But that's got a subscription service to it as well. Not even your baby's safe. You can't even rock your baby to sleep at night in your plus £1,000 dollar bassinet because your subscription has run out, therefore it's not going to continue rocking. Let's talk about HP as well, because I need to calm down, but this is going to rile people up as well, I know, because it riles me up. I was born in the 80s, raised in the 90s, where we had a printer. Yep, you know where this is going with that word. We had a printer, and with the printer, we would buy ink. Okay, so we would go and buy the ink. Let's say it's a HP printer, and we bought HP ink because that's what come with it at the time that we bought it, right? So we buy our HP printer that comes with the ink, and we use it with our bits of paper, right? Normal A4 bits of paper, feed it in, have it printed. Now, once it started to go empty, we all know about the fact that, ink cartridges are really empty when they're empty, right? But you would get that you'd get that line where it wouldn't print properly and it'd come up and it'd flag and say, hey, you need a new cartridge, right? So, hands up the amount of people that would be like, oh, what number are you? What is this? An Epson or a HP 5214. Okay, cool. Let's go over to Asda and let's go and look at the one that's the exact same for my printer, but by the Asda brand and not HP, because it's about £10 cheaper. Yeah? So let's do that. So we go and buy that inauthentic, right? Ingenuine is what HP or whatever would call it. We go and buy that inauthentic ink and we put it into our printer. Who remembers this little message that pops up? The ink that has been put in may not be genuine HP, therefore we cannot guarantee the quality of the print. Continue. Click. And guess what? You'd be able to continue printing with that generic print cartridge. Yeah, well, you can't do that anymore. You literally can't do that anymore. They've gone from telling you that this is not a genuine cartridge and that your print quality might be affected to downright locking you out. You can't put a different cartridge in. But it gets worse. How does it get worse? Let me tell you. They're now charging to print per page. I fucking can't. It's happened so quick. You will not own anything and you will be happy. Are you seeing it now? Are you seeing it now? It's happening everywhere. Everywhere. Everything has a subscription. What are we going to do as the people? Like, there is nothing that the peasants can do. This is the way that the Matrix runs, right? The only way you can get out of it is if you're one of those, like, off-grid, self-sufficient, don't deal with any of this, like... Because at the end of the day, right, we were told we're conspiracy theorists. Put down in the comments right fucking now if you were spouting this back in the day, but people were just like, no, you're the conspiracy theorist, you're the one that blah, 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 right? Yeah, okay, all right, whatever. I have been that conspiracy theorist, okay? But do you know, conspiracy theorist, that term was popularized by the CIA to discredit people that were talking about the JFK assassination and probably about aliens and going all the way back to what people were genuinely seeing, Betty and Barney Hill, for example. They put that phrase, they ingrained it so deeply that anybody that dared speak out about what could be was coined a conspiracy theorist. They done very well with what they did. It's only conspiracy theory until it's conspiracy fact, right? So I just want you to think about this for a second. Going back in the day, right, you would be called a lunatic if you were asked, do you believe in aliens? And your answer was yes. You would literally be a lunatic. Now fast forward to 2025, even 5 years ago, let's be honest, you're a lunatic if you don't believe that there's aliens. And I'm just talking, alien life. I'm not talking about aliens being here and in contact and everything like that. I'm just talking about the fact that obviously in this universe, of course, it's so vast, we must have other species that live that we would call alien. But it wasn't that long ago that people that did say this were ridiculed so much so, ostracized out of their jobs. People that would tell us that this is happening years ago, 20 years ago. You know exactly the people that I'm talking about, and I'm not talking about Alex Jones. There are people that spoke about this and warned people, and there are people like myself who listened to them, quietly started seeing the changes happening. The last thing I want to say is that in America, there are places called Goodwill, right? It's kind of like charity shops and stuff, right? They get free items given to them and they sell them low priced for people that don't have a lot of money to go in and buy these things from Goodwill, right? Well, look at what they've just done. What a massive middle finger. What a massive middle finger to the people that need it most. They're just like, nah. Customer Appreciation Day? Nah, we don't need that, do we? Because we don't appreciate you, so why the fuck would we need it? Even fucking charity shops and stuff, like now it's becoming unbelievable. So strap in, keep your eyes awake, because it is only going to be forced down our throat even more. So please continue to keep yourself aware. Please continue to keep yourself consciously aware of your finances, where it is going, into what subscriptions and what you can, cancel. Because we're not even going to be able to breathe soon without a subscription. If they could, they would, right? If they could, they would.